All right. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Thanksgiving. It's Thursday night. I think it's day 24. I don't know who's keeping count, right? 24 of 60. Yeah, so today's the 23rd, and I moved out here the 31st. So today's the 24th day. Minimalist, homeless by choice. I gave away all my possessions, moved out into a tent, and just to demonstrate that you can be happy and content anywhere. And I got to be of service today, and I want to talk about that real quick, and just the magic of like doing that, and how I'm so filled up today, and yeah, the title of this video is gonna be a little story I want to tell you, and it's but so the title of this video is gonna be, I don't know, what do you guys think? Doesn't matter what you do, so do what you enjoy, right? And I'll explain that. I kind of got that from watching the show the other day. I watched a show on Netflix on my phone, right? And I don't even watch TV. I haven't watched TV in about a year and a half, and I'm watching this, sitting out here in my tent late at night, and I kind of said, you know what? Let me watch some mindless television for a little while and see what's on. And I picked up this documentary, and it's about a football player, and I want to share like the message that I got from that, right? It doesn't matter what I watch. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter. I get a message, right? And I want to share that message to you guys. And it just kind of magically coincides with like my recovery, with the things that I talk about and the things that I do, and the service, and being out here in the tent, and it all kind of just magically comes together, man. And it's a beautiful little synchronicity when you see things that way, when things just line up, and I can watch a documentary about a football player, and yeah, man, get a pretty cool message. So I hope you watch to the end, man. Please hit like, please share, please subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. Please comment. Like, I want to know what your guys is. It's great to be able to share these, but I want some sustenance too, man. I want to know what you guys think, what your experience is, and how things have unfolded for you. So first and foremost, like, I got asked to speak at a recovery function, right? Like at noon today, and it's been a little while since I spoke, and I'm kind of in this weird like state, right? It's like we share this funny joke when I'm sharing today. That's like, someone comes into recovery and they're broken and they're destitute and their life is in shambles, and they don't even know what they want, but they just want to stop, the suffering, and and then they ask for help, and then I tell them like, oh man, I'm homeless, I don't have a job, and I'm a single guy. And they run immediately, right? And that's just a funny, it's funny. It's a funny little story, and it just because they want their life. They think they want their life to look a certain way, like I did. I just want my stuff back, man. I just want the suffering to stop, but I still want to continue on this path. And God, or that consciousness, has a different plan for me, man. And He has this plan that is like, hey, you needed all that stuff for sustenance before, and you don't need it anymore. Like, I'm providing that for you, right? Like, it's the self-reflection, it's looking in, it's the energy of the universe, it's being in touch with that provides that for me today. And I needed and thrived on, getting it externally before, and now I get it internally, and it's a complete shift. It's a complete like opposite direction of what I wanted when I came in, right? It's like, if I could just stop doing this stuff, my life will be okay. And then that illusion, that veil starts to fall, right? It starts to come down. It says like, man, nothing, no thing is going to fulfill me, right? And so I got to the homeless guy gets to get up there and share in front of a big group of people, and you know, it was an absolute blessing to be able to share my testimony to those people. And it's the reason that I'm sitting here today, is because I want to share my testimony to more than that can fit into one room, right? And because I've been graced, I've been blessed with the alleviation of suffering, and to awaken from the dream that I was in, that you know, I can manage my life and you know, wrestle satisfaction out of life, as they say. And now I just try to stay in the flow, and I get my sustenance from elsewhere. So I got a really good, you know, it's not me. I didn't do anything to awaken except for suffer enough, man, you know. But I've been graced and blessed, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience to be able to give back to the people that were given to me, right? It was absolute strangers who were there for me, right? And I just want to repay that. So I got to serve on a holiday. I got to go and be of service, and there's so many people being of service, and I got such a tremendous response from my message, and that I don't need the praise or anything, but you know, I am human, and it was encouraging, you know. And man, I love the experience of being able to share my pain and suffering with others as a healing tool. And who would have thought, man? You know, I have this saying, and it's on my Facebook, and when your greatest trauma or weakness becomes your greatest asset, you become invincible, right? And I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, I believe that my purpose has been developed for me, and I didn't fail at anything in my life, because I need every single one of those failures has contributed to whatever limited success you could say I have, right? My definition of success changed, and it's not about things. It's about being in love with every single breath I take, and it's not an easy path, man. Anybody who says that spirituality is an easy path, I want that path, right? But you know, it says pain is a touchstone of all spiritual growth, and I found that to be absolutely true. But here's the thing: it doesn't matter if it is painful or not. It is absolutely worth it. So life is painful. Suffering is just a part of life, and you can run from it all you want, but you can't miss a sign from the universe, because it gets louder and louder and louder and louder. That pain gets louder and louder and louder and louder until you walk through it. And when you walk through it and you awaken from it, there's a joy and a presence that is just unimaginably bliss. You know, it's a duality of life. Like, you can't know happiness and joy without knowing pain and sadness, right? But we want to be optimally happy, and we don't want that sadness or the difficulties, and you can't have one without the other. And it's a joyous ride today, man. And I want to share like the show that I watch on Netflix, man, and how it kind of ties together. And it's the I don't know if you guys are sports fans or not, and I was for my entire life. And you know, I still watch maybe the Buffalo Bills from time to time, because I grew up a fan, and my daughter and I have that connection together, and we go to games and we enjoy them together. But you know, I don't watch much TV, so I'm laying in my tent the other night, and you know, not a whole lot to do. Excuse me. So I decided to watch something, some mindless television, right? Some entertainment we all need. And I see this show on Barry Sanders, and it was probably arguably one of the greatest running backs that ever lived and played the game. And I didn't know a whole lot about him. I mean, I knew he played, but he played for Detroit Lions, and he's a Heisman Trophy winner, and top 10 pick, and probably the best running back I've ever seen play. And he walked away from football after like 9 years or 10 years or something like that. He was still 31 years old. He was in the prime of his career. But his story, if you watch his story, He is absolutely a humble guy, right? And he comes out of college in the same draft that Deon Sanders comes out. And if you don't know who these people are, I apologize, but I'll try to paint the best picture I can for you. Deon Sanders' nickname is PrimeTime, right? And he is as flamboyant in his showboat as you could possibly be, dancing on the field, energetic, just bubbling over with personality, right? And in your face personality. And I think he even has a quote that he says, "I'm not going to dim my light because you have to squint," right? Like, so he's very much outgoing, an extrovert. Look at me, I'm gonna shine, right? And the confidence level is through the roof. And Barry Sanders is a humble, quiet guy, doesn't care about achievements or awards, is very much, he scores a touchdown, he hands the football to the ref. He's never spiked a football, he's never done a dance, he runs to the sideline and sits down and waits for the next play, right? Can't be complete opposites, right? During Barry Sanders' career, there's a consummate professional, great guy, doesn't want the media attention. Matter of fact, he kind of misses some media appointments he's supposed to go to. He wins a Heisman Trophy, barely cracks a smile. The documentary mentions how he leaves his trophy at other players' houses. He's the kind of guy that they're winning the game and he's a few yards away from collecting another award, and he just takes himself out of the game and could care less about personal achievements, right? So complete opposite guys, right? Well, after Barry Sanders' 9th or 10th year, he's literally like 1,000 yards away from being the all-time greatest running back that ever lived, and one more season possibly. And he decides to get on a plane and fly to England to get away a little bit, and he faxes in, not to be a bad guy, he faxes in his intent to retire, and he retires, and he doesn't hold a press conference, and it wasn't in his heart anymore to play. Here's a guy who did everything in life what we would say is right. He carried himself in a way, he just put his head down and went to work, very blue-collary, didn't ask for anything, didn't demand things, didn't say, "Look at me." And when he faxed in his retirement letter, the entire country, at least the entire city of Detroit, said he stabbed him in the back, and they hated this guy, right? He stabbed us in the back, and he owes us an explanation, and they just demeaned him, for the next 20 years, like he owed them something. And I guess what I'm trying to come at here is it doesn't matter if you do every single thing right in your life. If you walk an honorable path your entire life, you're not going to make everybody happy. Or if you showboat through life and say, "Look at me," you're not going to make everybody happy. They both end up in the Hall of Fame. They both are some of the best players that ever played the game. Deon Sanders is now a coach at Colorado. He's been pretty successful, from what I understand, as a college coach, and players want to play for him. And Barry Sanders, from the documentary, is very humbly, I think he's got 4 or 5 boys, children, and agreed to this interview, but still as humble as he's ever been, right? And I think the fans, I'm hoping the fans, or the people that demeaned him all those years, have swung back around. But I don't think it matters to him, right? He gave it all he had. He did everything right, and people still criticized him. So, and how does that tie into what I'm doing here? I've tried to do everything right my whole life. I've tried to present this image to people that I thought they wanted to see. I try to, today be giving and loving, but, I don't do it for those reasons. I don't do it for under any illusion that everybody's going to like me or like my message or you know, pat me on the back or you know, show me love and affection. I do it because I am searching myself. I am looking within. I am touching that source or that presence within me, and I'm listening to that voice and quieting the voices outside of me, right? I don't follow the crowd anymore. I follow that inner voice. And, you know, in recovery a lot, they say stay in the middle of the herd. And I have to tell you, being in the middle of the herd is what led me most of my life, having to be the center, having to be noticed. And today, absolutely content out here in a tent, and you know, I follow that. You can't be godly and worldly at the same time, right? Like the spiritual path has taught me that if I am following the crowd, I'm probably as far away from the moment and my creator as I possibly can be. So I doing what I'm called to do, what I'm feeling pulled to do, what I'm enjoying doing, right? And I don't know the outcome of this. Maybe in 6 days I'm like, wow. Maybe in 5 years I'm like, wow, that was a real dumb thing to do. But I trust it completely in my core, and so do what you're called to do, man, with no attachment to the outcome. If you enjoy doing it, then do it. Don't seek validation from people, right? Don't seek validation from that source. Seek it intuitively. Seek it inside through prayer and through being still and meditation. And the purpose of meditation is to know yourself, right? It is to look within. It is to know your true self and to let go of the things that you think you are, right? All these labels that we apply to yourself. I'm a man, I'm a cop, I'm a Marine, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm strong. You're not strong. You are not that, right? You may have strength, but you are not strong. You are not weak. You are not this or that, right? And ask yourself those questions like, what am I, man? What am I? Write them down on paper. I heard this somewhere else, and this isn't my idea, but it's like write everything down on paper that you think you have and everything that you think you are. And then go through them and ask yourself the question, am I this? Am I this? Do I have that? Like what identifies you, and what do you identify as? And realize that you can do everything that everybody else wants you to do and still be criticized. So do what you want to do. You know, look internally. Ask yourself the answers. Ask your higher power. Ask God. Ask the universe, you know. It's just waiting for you to ask. It's waiting for you to follow that voice. It's waiting you to step away from what everybody else tells you to do. It's waiting to be noticed. It's waiting to live. It's waiting to be fulfilled. It's waiting to experience absolute happiness, love, and peace, and that can only be found within or to your source, right? And I hope you guys enjoy what you're doing, and I hope you enjoy your life, and I hope you find what you're looking for in life, and I hope you really stop listening to what others tell you to do, and if you had a dream your whole life, then make it happen. Even if do something every day that's uncomfortable, you know, because it's that pain, it is that uncomfortableness where we really learn something. And you can't fail. You cannot fail. You can't fail. It's just another experience. It's another experience that will lead you to something else. Every single left turn I ever made, has brought me right here to you guys. So I appreciate you. And this is one take, and I really don't know what it sounds like, but I hope it made some sense. And don't worry about what other people think. Do what's in your heart. Appreciate you. Love. Please hit like, please subscribe, please share, please comment. Let me know your thoughts. Appreciate you.